And when we come back, a perfect student. This young girl hits the books with all her might.
Our shoppers are really quite savvy shoppers. They know exactly
Welcome back. On Our Albertans tonight, a profile of a successful student. Win Leung goes to the University of Alberta, but she first gained attention for what she'd achieved in high school. Len Grant first introduced us to Win Leung last winter. As you'll see, this young woman has the ability and will to succeed.
Do that flip, do that flip, do it, do it, do it.
We caught up with Win Leung in a crowded high school gym in Edmonton as she and hundreds of other teenagers cheered on a group of gymnasts. She and over 700 other students were taking part in the Canadian Student Leadership Conference, designed to help foster and celebrate the qualities that make good citizens and good leaders.
Aren't they here?
Win Leung spent nearly 2 years helping to organize this conference and 6 days making sure it came off as planned.
You go that way, I'll go this way, okay?
From scouring the noisy throng for missing students to ensuring people were where they were supposed to be.
We need more people. We need people down there. What happened to the rest of your volunteers?
To making sure nothing was going to fail.
We're going to be going on Plan B, which is a tour of the University of Alberta.
Win Leung is only 18, but she's already done a lot of volunteer work for Student Council, the Red Cross, and now this conference.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We had 14.
I enjoy knowing, what's going to happen next and watching everyone's reaction when it actually happens. When you plan something and it actually works out, that's a great feeling.
Gazoo with little green frog one day, Gazoo with little green frog.
Win Leung has a talent for leadership and achievement, but she also has the ability to learn, and that's where she really stands out. To be, by one measure at least, the best high school student in Canada.
I don't always have a goal, but I have a general direction, at least. Not a good feeling just to be doing something and not knowing why.
With a focus on success, Win has very rarely failed to achieve it, ever since she was a little kid.
I remember it was kindergarten. I got a gold feather award for being the most improved person in coloring, or something like that. And that was my first award.
Over the years, her talent for coloring evolved into a talent for painting.
It was one of her classworks. And then one day she brought it home, I don't know, for some reason, and I look at it and I say, that's really good, Win. And then she'd tell me this is one of her year project.
And her talent for learning became apparent as she picked up award after award for her schoolwork.
She really enjoys her work, even though she's working late into the 9, 11, 12. I have to ask her to sleep half the time, stop her. She's into it and she forgets the time.
Given all this, it isn't perhaps surprising that when Win Leung graduated from high school this year, she would add one more award to her list. But this one is different. It has a 7-letter word on it that reads, perfect.
It is tremendously difficult to get the perfect score.
Joanne Tufts is the coordinator of the International Baccalaureate, or IB program, at Harry Ainley High School. It's a program for high achievers that measures students from Alberta against their counterparts from around the world.
In all of North America, there are 169 IB schools. 2,856 diplomas were awarded to students in those schools, and only 3 of those students achieved the perfect score of 45. WINS was the only one in Canada.
There's just so much information. That's the basic difficulty. You have to process all this information.
And you did very well.
Guess so.
That she can handle concepts in English or history with just as much dexterity as she can do a problem in mathematics or a chemistry experiment.
Is there a subject you don't like?
Don't like. Yeah, phys ed. No, not really. There's subjects I like less than others, but there's nothing I really dislike. Why don't you boil some water first so we have some hot solvent?
Today, Win Leung is a first-year physiology student at the University of Alberta. She has a $25,000 scholarship and is considering a career in medicine or medical research.
And I find it really interesting trying to understand how things work that we just take for granted, like how you breathe, you don't even think about it. Or like how little cells, grow and divide and die and you don't even notice.
A lot of people are taking notice of Win Leung these days since her perfect high school score, but she doesn't seem to be changed by all of that. She's more interested in changing the way society views all young people.
The majority of, people my age, they're good people. I mean, they'll grow up, get jobs, be good citizens.
And as for her ability to get a perfect score, she says she's still learning.
I don't know, it didn't occur to me for a long time that I was lucky, because that's just who I was. But now I realize that, yeah, I lucked out. Big time.
And since that report first aired, Win Leung has been continuing her successful ways as a student. She didn't get a perfect mark in her first year of university, but she came very close. Perfect would have been a 9. She got an 8.9. And her mother says Win's preparing to study medicine, and yes, she's still just as busy outside of class. And now a look at what some kids may accomplish thanks to a new medical device. For kids with cerebral palsy, walking can be next to impossible. Tonight we bring you the story of one mother. She's hoping a new device will help her daughter and as many as 7